Garbanzo beans or chickpeas. They are the same thing. They are from Turkey, and most of it is grown in India. By far the most is grown in India, and then some is grown in the United States, but the second one is Australia because of the climate, because it can't have real wet climates and it has to have 100 days to mature. It is not pea, even though we call it chickpea. It's a legume. And so today I have here the canned. They are really convenient. So I always have some in the cabinet, because then you can pull it out and make really quickly the hummus for dinner, for hummus for a snack. All you gotta do then is slice up some fresh vegetables and hummus away. And I always have about 4 cans in the shelves, because even if there is no electricity, you can eat them like they are. So, but the bad thing, is always bad, is the loss of some of the minerals and the vitamins when you can things. And also they add salt to it. So when you're buying it, be sure you buy low sodium, and that way you can get about half the amount of salt in it. And the other thing is to rinse them off, and if you can't have salt, rinse them off and toss away the water. So then the other way to have them is dried. Now dried is a very good way to have them, because they have and they keep all of the vitamins and the minerals, as well as the protein and the insoluble fibers, which are kept no matter what happens to them, whether it's canned or dried. And it also has amino acids and folate, which are destroyed by canning. Some of it is. So these are chickpeas, are called that because they look like little chickens. They have a little beak on them. I think that's why they're called that. And there's several ways to fix them when they're dried. You can't eat them out of the can because they're not cooked. And you can store them for a long time this way, up to a year, if you keep it into a cool, dark place. So there's a couple of ways to do that. You can put them in a pressure cooker, and then you can do it fill it up with water. You can do it 8 to 10 minutes and then let it cool. I did another video on it under beans, so you can go back and refer to that, because that is a really good way to do it on an evening when you don't have a lot of time. Then there are 2 ways to cook them with soaking. One way is to put them in the water. You can put it on the heat and turn it on and boil it for about 2 minutes. And then you put the lid on it and you let it sit for an hour or 2. And then you can cook it. And that way you save most of the time. And then my most popular way to do the garbanzo beans or the chickpeas is to soak them all night. And I do that because it saves everything, and it makes them so that they are ready for me, and I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to keep them on the stove. I don't have to time them unless I'm in a hurry. So to soak them overnight, you take a pound of beans, or a ½ pound, which is half of a small package of the dried beans, and you put them in a pan and you soak them overnight. And if you will notice, you see, they're this much bigger. Can hardly see it in this little place. And then over here, you can see them really well. And the thing about it is, you can put them in the refrigerator when you put them on to soak. And that way, if you don't have time to do it the next night like you had planned, you can do it the next night. Or you can do it that night and then save it. So you put them in. Now some people throw away the water that you soak them all in, and some people don't. I don't, because I like it. I don't taste any difference. Some people put baking soda in to help with flatulence, and I don't. I like it. I think it changes the texture and the taste of it. There's also the people that say that if you don't if you soak them from the very beginning, you've increased the degree of, oh, the thing that makes you have flatulence. You don't have it anymore. And I have not had that problem. But you never know. So then you put these on to soak. You soak them for 10 to 12 hours and longer if you need to. And then you cook them, and it takes 30 minutes to an hour. Now I know that on the sites it says that they've had trouble getting them really tender. And I think that's really important. And I think part of that is not timing it from the time they really start cooking. So you have to heat it up, and you don't start timing it until you see them bubbling. And I don't add anything into my hummus, to my garbanzo beans or my chickpeas, and I keep them just like that. Now you can't store them really well once they've been cooked, and so I store them as hummus, because then I can store hummus. So I hope that helps you. I hope you'll try it. And if you're on a plant-based nutrition, then you need to use garbanzo beans. They are the mainstay of the diet.